we have with us the Toyota Zenix. Let's do a review. The Toyota Zenix was launched in the Philippines last year. Essentially the third generation of the very popular Innova MPV, it's a separate model for the Philippine market and a huge difference. Let's see what it has to offer. What we have is the 2024 Toyota Zenix 2.0 CVT, and it's priced at 1,670,000 Philippine pesos. And looking at the exterior, the Zenix is an evolution of the previous generation, looking very similar though bulkier and more subdued. The front fascia looks like a blend of the Toyota RAV4 and US market Toyota Highlander, especially with a large front grille. We also get multi-reflector LED headlights. Unfortunately, we don't get DRLs on this variant. The side and rear sections of the Zenix also take some cues from the RAV4 as well as the Rush. Character lines do give it a more muscular look. The wheels on this are a bit simple in their design, and they do make the car look a bit older unfortunately. They're 17 inches in size and are wrapped in Dunlop and NSAVE tires. We also get LED taillights and a rugged rear bumper design, and we even still have the Innova badge back here. This is, after all, an Innova. Opening the power tailgate, though a bit slow, reveals a very good amount of space even with the third row seats up. You can probably fit 2 or 3 pieces of small luggage or even one medium-sized piece. One great thing here is the seats now fold flat to the floor. Once you do fold that, you get loads of space in addition to underfloor storage. And now we're inside the Toyota Zenix, and unlike the exterior, which does still show us some similarities with the previous generation, this one is a huge departure. So you can see here that the design is completely different. It's very far from what we used to see in the previous generations of Innova. So it's really a huge upgrade here. So the design itself looks very similar to what you'd find in a Toyota Hi-Ace or Toyota Land Cruiser 300. So that's very nice. Materials are also pretty nice over here. So we have this soft touch leather portion of the dashboard. Most of it is hard touch plastic, but it does feel very solid, and that's what you'd expect from this type of vehicle. And there's even storage here on the passenger side of the dashboard with a 12-volt power outlet. So you have that over there. Then other materials as well. Here in the door panel for this variant, we have hard touch plastics on top, all very solid feeling, and leather for the armrest. So all good over there. And also you can see that we have a two-tone color scheme. So it's black and brown, which does look quite fancy for this vehicle. Then moving to here, our steering wheel is also completely new. So this is not what we usually see in other Toyota models. It does look very nice. It does feel nice as well. The leather material is really good, and yeah, it just looks really nice to look at, really nice to hold. And we have our controls for our instrument cluster and infotainment here on the left. On the right for our cruise control. Then our horn, it's our typical Toyota horn, so that does sound pretty good still. Then we also have our paddle shifters behind it, and it's tilt and telescopic adjustable. So for a Toyota, this has a very good amount of adjustment. So yeah, that's pretty good over there. And then in the middle here, we have our 7-inch instrument cluster. So it's kind of looking a bit dated in my opinion. So this is the same one you will find, or not, if not the same, it's the similar one you will find in older Toyota models like the Camry, the Corolla Altis, Corolla Cross. So that's what we get here. It does look pretty nice as long as you put it in the fully digital mode or whatever. So just don't use the analog display because that one looks very dated. But yeah, this shows us a very good amount of information. It's what you would expect from a display here. So we have our fuel economy, different settings, we have our trip computer, and then we also have, for some reason in this one, our screen for our Toyota Safety Sense, but this car doesn't come with that. So yeah, it's just a blank screen over here, but the icon shows Toyota Safety Sense. Anyway, moving here in the center, another huge improvement is this 10.1-inch touchscreen infotainment system. Before, we used to get only a 7-inch aftermarket screen. Now it's a proper 10.1-inch screen from Toyota. Though the interface is not the best in my opinion, but it does work pretty well. It's kind of weird to have shortcuts for wallpaper and theme over here, but yeah, it responds decently. It's very easy to navigate, unlike those we find in Chinese cars. And yeah, everything you want to do is very easy to find. We even have some shortcut buttons down here, including volume and to turn on and off the sound. Also, we have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto here. So yeah, that's very nice to have finally here in this Zenix. Also, I'll add that the placement of the screen is actually really good because it's really placed up high. It's very easy to reach, and it's within your line of sight when you're driving, so that's very good. Then moving down, we have our single zone automatic climate control. We have a display over there, several buttons for that. I like that. Very simple and easy to use. Then also our shifter here is very nicely placed. So we have this for our CVT, we have manual mode, and yeah, it just feels really good. Then put it in reverse, it shows us our reverse camera on the screen, and you can hear the sensors. It's not the usual annoying Toyota sensor sound you get, and there's no annoying Toyota reverse beeping sound. So yeah, that's also good. And then here we have our electronic parking brake with auto hold, our eco mode button, and our stability control off button. And the placement of everything here is really nice. It's the sloping center stack. I really like that. Then moving down, we have our two USB ports, USB-A and USB-C. Then two cup holders and this armrest here with our storage underneath. Interesting how this opens only on this side. So there's only one way to open it. But yeah, the storage down here is pretty good. And for the seats, this is going to be very similar to what you'll find later in the back seat. So check that out later. But yeah, so these are a lot more comfortable than the one in the previous generation. It feels a lot better. It just supports you much better. And then the material is a mix of this fabric and this suede-like material. It's not suede, but it feels like suede, and that does feel nice. Although what I did notice is that whenever I drive this car, I do end up having static shock whenever I step out of it. I think it's because of the seat material. But yeah, pretty good over there. We do get leather on the higher variant. So this one, for this price, we don't get leather seats yet. And I did forget to mention that we do have in this car, in typical Toyota fashion, some cup holders on the dashboard. So they pop out of both sides of the dashboard, and lots of customers really like that. And now we're in the second row of the Zenix. And as you can see here, we do have some captain seats as standard. So despite this being the lower variant for the Zenix, we still have these captain seats. And they do provide decent amount of support, and they are very comfortable over here. And as you can see, I have loads of space as well. This seat is already moved a bit forward to give more space for the third row passengers. But despite that, I have loads of leg room, knee room is all plentiful. So that's all really nice. Headroom is also very, very nice. And we have these armrests over here, and we have this space here in the middle for some separation between your other passenger. And also here in the middle, we have this flip up storage area and two cup holders. So you can put your phone here maybe. So there we go. And you can even put some cups or even my bottle, which does fit here pretty well, as long as I don't have this rubber thing. But anyway, yeah, that fits there. And to put it down, you just have to pull this flap here on the side, and there it goes down. And the material of the seat is the same as in front, so it's a fabric with this suede like fabric as well. And yeah, pretty nice over here. So we have a hook over here, pockets behind both front seats. We have our aircon controls over here, so fan speed. We even have the automatic setting and our button for the mood lighting, which you can see up here on the ceiling. Then down there we have two USB-C ports, and then yeah, other things here. Materials on the door panel are pretty much the same, so hard touch on top, hard touch, and some leather for the armrest and the side of the door. So yeah, this is a very nice place to be. And now we're at the third row of the Zenix, and as you can see here, there is still a lot of space despite it being the very last row of this vehicle. So that's another bonus of this being a unibody now instead of a pickup-based MPV. So despite this having the captain seats I showed you earlier in the second row, we still have 7 seat capacity over here. So 3 passengers here in the third row, and 2 adults will do great here, and then 1 child maybe, or 3 children. So at least we still have a very good amount of space. Leg room is pretty good, knee room, foot room is all very good. This is amazing for an MPV of this size. And then the passengers here are also not forgotten. So we have aircon vents on both sides. We have 4 cup holders actually, and then storage spaces on each side as well for your gadgets. So there won't be any problem with that. We also have a 12-volt power outlet here, by the way. And also, you'll notice here in this portion here that for those getting in the back, there's actually an area for them to hold on to when getting inside. So it's gonna be easier to get inside the third row in this vehicle. And now we're driving the Toyota Zenix, and just like the interior of this car, the biggest improvement or improvements when it comes to this vehicle compared to the Innova is the way it drives. And of course, people are a bit sad that this no longer comes with a diesel engine, but that is not a problem in my opinion. So let's talk about what this has under the hood first. So again, no more diesel engine, and this gets a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder gasoline engine that produces 174 horsepower and 205 Newton meters of torque paired to a CVT. So in case you're worried that this does not reach how much the diesel had, so it's about the same horsepower, so that shouldn't be a problem. The torque is quite lower, but driving it does show us that we don't really need all that torque, so we're just currently stuck in traffic. But yeah, I'll get back to you once this clears up. Okay, so now we're able to move, and once you do get moving, you'll feel how responsive this powertrain actually is. So just put your foot on the pedal and it instantly responds. There's no lag, there's no delay. It is just really responsive, and the power delivery is actually quite good, so you don't really feel when you're driving normally that you lost the turbo diesel engine, although you will feel that you no longer have as much torque as we used to, but it still works really well the way it is, so there is no problem when it comes to the engine in my opinion. Although the difference here is perhaps when you're going on uphill road, so that's where the torque difference really comes in. That's where you feel it, but though it's not too bad in my opinion. I think that's fine the way it is. And of course, with the CVT in this car, it accelerates really smoothly, so you won't really feel any jerkiness at all, so it just feels good when you are driving this normally. When you do push it hard, especially on the highway, you want to overtake, you will feel that it does get underpowered, and I won't be surprised if it will feel underpowered when you have a full load of 7 passengers. But still, for normal everyday driving, this is already adequate as it is, and I really can't ask for more. So another great thing about this car right now is how it handles, how the steering feels. So it's now a lot lighter compared to what we used to have in the previous generation Innova. It feels like every other new car that we have right now. So it's no longer hydraulic power assisted, it's now electric power assist, and it does offer a decent amount of feedback. It's not, of course, the best when it comes to feedback, but it does give us a decent amount, and it is an MPV, so you don't really expect it to, you know, feel like a sports car or feel like maybe a Toyota 86 or Toyota Supra. And for driving inside the city like this, it's very easy to maneuver this car. It does look a lot bigger on the outside, but it does not feel that way. Then when you do want to take a corner a bit faster, you will feel a bit of that body roll, and that's expected from this car, so there's really no reason to complain about body roll in an MPV. Another thing that has improved greatly in this car is ride comfort and NVH insulation. So I will say that it has luxury car levels of NVH, so road noise is almost non-existent even at higher speeds. Although the higher speeds, expressway speeds, you do have that, that's already expected. But in speeds like ours right now, city speed, there really is no road noise, and it's just amazing how quiet this car is. So engine noise as well, you barely hear it when you're driving inside the city, unlike the diesel before, which you just really hear all the time. Now with the gasoline engine, it's very quiet in here. Wind noise does get quite loud, especially on a windy day, but yeah, I don't really mind. It's already expected as well from how big this vehicle is. But overall, the NVH in this car is just really excellent for what it is. I never expected it to be like this. Also, the previous generation Innova was known for being a very comfortable MPV, especially considering the fact that it's based on a Toyota Hilux and Toyota Fortuner. It was very comfortable. The ride was really good. It did a good job of absorbing bumps, but this one takes it even further. So since this is now a unibody, it gets even smoother than before. So the way it absorbs bumps is just really excellent. Although there are times that it'll be a bit firmer compared to before, but yeah, it does feel good in general, and it's just one of the better things that it has improved already. Also considering the fact that this is based on the same platform as the Toyota Corolla Cross, and I wasn't too happy with the ride quality in that crossover, so this one just feels so good. If there's really anything to improve in this car right now, I just really think it's on the specifications and not really on the driving experience. So anyway, moving on, fuel economy is one of the biggest reasons why people are not happy with the loss of the diesel engine in the Zenix. So surprisingly, this still does pretty good. Actually, very similar numbers. So inside the city, I was able to achieve around 11 kilometers per liter, while on the highway we're able to get around 17 kilometers per liter at most. So that's not bad at all. And before we end, like I mentioned earlier, this does not come with any of the Toyota Safety Sense suite of advanced driver assist systems. So this only gets regular cruise control, no emergency braking, no blind spot monitoring. I don't really mind, but its competitors, the other brands, usually offer complete suites already, even at the lowest variant. So this one you can't get yet on this variant. You have to go for the higher hybrid Q variant to get all of that. The Toyota Zenix may no longer be the Innova we know and hate or love, but it takes everything to the next level. Maybe we could have gotten a few better specs on this variant, but this is a huge improvement already. Try it out for yourself, you'll probably like it.